Credit couple, better go to credit couple.
All right. Good morning. This is James Johnson.
And I'm Chanel Johnson.
And we are the Credit Couple.
Boom.
This your page, babe. This your page. So you take it away.
I gotta take it away.
Absolutely. It's
Man,
all you.
I gotta take it away.
I don't know these people. What up, people?
People, y'all know him and he knows you. All right. So listen, super excited to be here on this morning. Happy Tuesday.
Terrific Tuesday. As my boy would say. Tastic Tuesday.
Oh.
I can't believe I just said that.
You know what? Goodness. You know, because Tuesday starts with 2, I keep hearing terrible 2s.
Oh. So we have terrible 8s, terrible 10s, terrible 12s.
That's the terrible ever. Stop. But
what up, though?
Listen. Super excited to be here. As the title says on this live, we're going to be talking about a crucial step. Crucial step that you want to take before you start your credit restoration process. So the title of this live is Do This Before You Start Your Credit Restoration Process, because you want to get you want to maximize your results, right? If you want to maximize your results, well, actually, before I even give you this instruction, if you are hopping on the live and you're on while we're on, say hey, drop a hello. We do respond to comments. If you have any questions about anything that we're talking about, drop that in the comments. Also, if you're catching the replay, drop replay in the comments. If it's your first time ever catching us, let us know you're a first time viewer so we can show you some love. And as always, share this information because it could help somebody as well as help you, all right? But if you agree that you want to maximize your results, I want you to also drop maximize in the comments when you see this, because we're going to give you a tip for all of you who are looking to improve your credit that can literally help you get better results. And that is what it is all about, right? So, are you making sure you're straight on your page, sir?
Yeah, I don't see it nowhere.
You don't see it? Hit the refresh. That in the comments. I tagged him, y'all. Okay. Do you see it? Do you see? We're trying to make sure that your people, your people can see, like my people. We want to make sure all the peoples can see. What's up with your Facebook?
I don't know. See? I don't know.
Wow. So we have to figure that out. We might have to go live. Share it on your page right now.
I might have to go to StreamYard.
Yeah. All right. So before you start your credit restoration process, well, actually, let's just go into this first. All right. Yes, so you've got some information on your credit. You might have some things like some collections. You might have some charge-offs, late payments. These people telling your business. Why?
Well, it's crazy. But I think what we should do is lead into this first. First of all, there was a law that was passed in 1971 called the Fair Credit Reporting Act.
He's getting deep.
Right? So this is important because I want everybody to understand. The Fair Credit Reporting Act was actually developed because the credit bureaus were bullies back in the day.
They still are.
And are. Right. But the Fair Credit Reporting Act actually stated that the credit bureaus have to have 100%, not 99.9, not 95, not 90, 100% accurate, the key word in that sentence is accurate information. So that means your name has to be right, your address has to be right, your birthday has to be right, your marital status has to be right.
Basically, if they're going to tell a story, they need to get the facts right. Okay,
exactly.
They shouldn't be telling your business in the first place, but if they're going to tell your business, at least get the facts right, right?
Right, exactly.
Right, so basically, if you have these things on your credit and you want to clear up, some of that information, because the information on your credit report is what is used to determine your credit score, right? That's why what's on your credit report is important. That's why you want to be paying attention to what is on your credit report by monitoring that information, because your credit score actually impacts so many different things, whether you're trying to apply for a new apartment, whether you're trying to be a homeowner, whether you're trying to buy a vehicle, get car insurance, whether you're trying to just turn on utilities. Can you name something that you do as an adult that doesn't require credit, like going to the restaurant or the movies? Pretty soon they might be checking credit for that, right? So you want to make sure that your credit is as high as possible.
High as a kite, absolutely.
All
so
right.
I definitely agree with that.
So he mentioned the Fair Credit Reporting Act.
Who is he?
my beautiful husband, okay? He's so handsome, okay? So, so as my husband James mentioned, okay?
Thank you, Mrs. Chanel Johnson.
The Fair Credit Reporting Act, okay? So he mentioned that law was enacted to give you and me as consumers rights. You have rights, right?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
And one of those is you can actually challenge the information that's on your credit. So let's just bust up a huge myth, because a lot of people, I know I did, I believed it for a long time, that stuff had to stay on my credit for 7 years. Is that you? Do you believe that stuff has to be on your credit for 7 years? If that's you, I want you to know
that used to be me.
Yeah,
I used to believe that. Right.
But it's false.
It is
not
false.
True.
Absolutely false. Bankruptcies can come off now, as long as they are discharged. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I don't know why you went on bankruptcy specifically, because anything
can be. But because most people think that when they file bankruptcy, they got to wait 7 to 10 years for it to come off. That's why I said
Tell me how you really feel. I'm like, okay.
Because bankruptcy actually happens to be one of the number one things that people want to get off their credit report.
Student loans.
And student loans. But anyway.
But along with that, those medical bills, all that stuff, y'all, you do not have to wait 7 years. You don't have to wait 10 years or whatever. You can actually start challenging that information now, right? Mm-hmm. So now you said, hey, I want to start working on my credit. You want to, the fastest thing to do, or did I say that right? What's going to get you the fastest results is disputing the information, mm-hmm. right? So you want to start disputing the inaccurate, erroneous, obsolete, and guess what? Even if you think that information is correct, and throw this out there. Let's say you owed a company some money and they reported you to collections, and now you have a collection on your credit and you feel like, well, it is my collection, I did owe that bill, so you don't think that you can dispute it. You can still actually dispute that item. You can force them to verify the accuracy of how it's being reported.
Absolutely.
Because guess what? If it is not being reported correctly, then it has to be removed, because it's supposed to be 100% accurate. So don't think just because you did that thing that you cannot dispute it. So now you decided to dispute it. Should they do it online? Should they go to Credit Karma?
Absolutely not. But before we go there, I wanted to also say this. I want people to get that when you're doing a credit dispute, you're not going after the creditor. You're going after the credit bureaus. It's a big difference, okay? So I want to make sure everybody understands that. We're going after the credit bureaus, making sure they got 100% accurate information. Now, should you dispute online? Absolutely not. You don't dispute.
I could just click the button.
Right. You don't dispute online because you're going to actually give up a couple of your rights, and there's not going to be any paper trace, right? Obviously, because you're doing it online, so they can easily say they never got it, right? So you never want to dispute online. You don't want to do that, right? You want to do everything by paper, everything.
You want to have a paper trail, guys. Absolutely. And as he mentioned, as my husband James Johnson mentioned,
thank you.
In the Fair Credit Reporting Act, those rights are there.
Him upstairs. Him downstairs. Who is him, America?
Oh, bold nigga ass. But anyway,
I got a name.
Shout out to Bernie Mac, keeping us laughing, even though he's not physically here anymore with us. He's here in spirit, because we really be dealing with some kids.
I would hire Bernie Mac
Uncle
to
Bernie.
this day. I'll call it Uncle.
So listen, you don't want to throw away those rights that are given to you to protect you by literally going online and disputing. And that's what you're doing. You're waiving a lot of those rights.
So if you are a Credit Karma professional, please don't dispute online.
Use Credit Karma just to keep up with the activity and the information.
Advantage score. That's not even your FICO score.
Okay, just.
But that's a whole nother life. So
right.
I'm sorry.
So the other thing that I wanted to say is, when you do that, you one of those rights that you're waiving is the right to sue. You got to agree to arbitration, and do you know that you could be entitled to damages with that information?
Damages,
right? You be entitled to damages, y'all, where they can cash you out. So not only get the items off your credit, but literally get checks in the mail because they reported information inaccurately. That's why I'm so excited about our process and our program, because we have consumer protection attorneys that go to bat for you, and they're
keyword
trained
for you.
they're trained in consumer law. They're trained to spot out those violations so they can get the money and also get that debt eliminated while you're clearing up your credit. So, but let's talk about that crucial step, because we said we're going to give you a step that's going to actually make your credit repair process better. So you're going into credit repair. What should they do first?
The first thing you should do is update your personal information. Here's the thing, right? Because first of all, the credit bureaus don't really fact check the information that's put on that credit bureau, right? A lot of times people have changed their names. Like she went from Joyner to Johnson, right? They wouldn't have that information, right? Because they hope people key it in for them so they have it, right? So you want to update your personal information.
And any information that's on there, they're getting it from creditors. They're getting it when you apply for a job, right? Have you ever noticed they got your employers on your credit report? If you applied for a job, if you applied for utilities, if you applied for a car loan, a credit card loan, anytime that you are, going through those different processes, that's how this information gets on your credit. So like you said, someone might have typed your name wrong. They might have spelled your name wrong. Or you might have been out there doing something scandalous, trying to trick the bureaus. You know how you switched up them digits in your social. Yeah, we know that. You know what? I ain't even gonna lie. I did that too. So listen, we need to clean all of that up. We need to clean all of that up because that information is used to tie you and connect you to the accounts that are on your credit. So for instance, let's say they have a collection and they have my name as Channel. Right? And
shout out to Sister Nicole.
So they have my name as Channel, but my name is not Channel, right?
Or Scannel on the
right.
The
so they have my name spelled wrong. And so now if I go clear that up and that collection is in the name of Channel, right? I can dispute that once Channel is off my personal information because I'm not Channel. That is not correct. That is not me. So that's the information that they're using to tie you to those accounts. So you want to clear that up. You want to minimize the amount of information that is on your personal information section. One address. Because if you have all these different addresses, it looks like you're moving around a lot. So you don't look stable, right? Your legal name, right? One employer, right? And whether you want your phone number on there or not, that's optional. That's completely up to you. But don't have all this information. The more information you have there, the more they can tie you to the stuff that's on your credit.
I mean, that's really critical because the credit bureaus has to have 100% accurate information. If they don't, here's the power in this. If they don't have 100% accurate information, then whatever that's on that credit bureau, they have to remove.
And shout out to Rosa. She said, hey, like 11 minutes ago.
What up, Rosa? What it do?
What's up, Rosa? Thank you for hopping on. Now, let's talk about real quick the secondary credit bureaus. Who are they? Why is it important that we freeze or opt out of those secondary bureau reports?
Now,
a lot of people don't even know they exist.
I hope you guys are taking notes because we giving you the game. We giving you game. Send us some stars if you got some value from what we are talking about. But yes, there are secondary credit bureaus. And again, most people don't even have a clue about these secondary credit bureaus. And what they do is they actually, the primary credit bureaus go to the secondary credit bureaus to verify your information.
All these people literally gossiping about you, right? So Equifax, Experian, TransUnion, they gossiping.
They got little brothers on the block. They got people on the block like,
these the real gangsters.
Exactly.
What's their name?
So you got a couple of them. You have LexisNexis, right? You got ARS. Then you have, it's so many of them, but it's really like 5 that you really want.
CoreLogic, SageStream, Anovis.
And so listen now, LexisNexis is a gangster. Because LexisNexis have your traffic tickets, if you ever own an apartment, all this. Now here's
bankruptcy.
Right, they got all of that on file. And so what the primary credit bureaus do is they go, you making me laugh.
I'm just for real.
The primary credit bureaus go and verify that info.
Because who does this? Like literally, like first of all, the fact that you went to court and you filed a bankruptcy, the courts don't tell the credit bureaus your information. So here comes LexisNexis taking it upon themselves to
store it away.
Yeah, to literally scan court records, find this information, and voluntarily report it to the big bureaus about you, right? So Charlene, yes ma'am.
I'm a married man, Charlene. I can't.
She's talking to me. She ain't talking to you.
My fault. Hey, Charlene, what it do? All right, But so his was crazy.
Charlene, my number. Well, Charlene, I'm gonna inbox you my number.
Don't be giving me a number.
Yeah, he don't, cause he don't want people texting me. He's oh, look at you.
I'm from Virginia. We don't play them games.
Oh, Lord, Midlothian. Who even heard of?
First of all, I'm not from Midlothian. I lived in Midlothian. Anyway, back to the regular schedule program.
I can't even find it on the map.
Yeah, because you can't see. That's why. But listen, here is the power. They give you the ability to opt out. Now, why would they do that?
And for those of you, opting out is you're freezing the report.
That's
Opt-out freeze is like synonymous.
Right. Why would they give you the ability to do that? Well, let me tell you. The reason they allow you to opt out is legally, they're not even supposed to be reporting your information. And because they're reporting it, they give you the ability to opt out or freeze your information. Now, what's the power in that? Well, the power in that is when you...
Stop talking about you.
When you stop... What?
They got to stop talking about you.
Oh, I don't know what I don't know what happened this morning, but she's a little bubbly. Did you do something I don't know about?
I don't got my makeup on, so I gotta make up for that.
So,
I gotta give you spirit.
This is throwing me out because
Since I ain't giving you face, I gotta give you spirit.
Okay. All right.
I'm stupid.
Oh man, boy. What are we talking about today?
What are you
Johnson?
thinking about?
I'm sorry. But anyway. Anyway, they give you that ability to opt out so that you can block or freeze your information. Now, when the primary credit bureaus go to the secondary credit bureaus to verify you, nothing will come up. And that's going to give you the ability to have a lot of the negative items or erroneous items removed from your credit report. So I hope you guys are listening.
He just said something major. It basically stops their ability to verify your information. So if that information that's on your credit is coming from a secondary bureau, is being verified for a secondary bureau, when you freeze those reports, they cannot verify. Listen, to get items removed from your credit report legally, it has to be erroneous, obsolete, or unverifiable. So if they cannot verify that it's 100% accurate, that is another way to get the item removed from your credit.
Absolutely. And so listen, we gave you guys a major tip for today. You definitely want to update your personal information. You'll be surprised. Now, one of the things that you want to do is you want to go pull your credit report and you want to look at the information that they have on that, right? And that we're going to prove it to you. Some of you guys are going to have addresses that you haven't lived in for years.
Some of you might have address that you never lived in.
Right.
It might be your mama address,
right?
right? So, the other thing too is, no, that's another lie. That's another lie. I was about to say, no, so this is relevant.
Make up your mind, Mrs. Johnson. Okay.
So let's say you're on somebody's account as an authorized user.
You will get that address on your credit report.
Okay.
Yeah.
That address is going to be on your credit.
I'm like, who? That's what.
If it's tied to any open account, so it's not going to come off. Okay. Right. So if it is an address that is tied to an open account, so let's say you have an open Capital One credit card or an open car loan, and that address is tied to that account, or you are an authorized user on your let's say your mama's card, and her address is the address associated with that account. If you're on that account as an authorized user, that address will be on your credit and they're not going to take it off. So just keep that in mind.
Absolutely. All right. So we're going to end this because we could talk and talk and talk. We can talk and talk and talk about this topic all day long, but it's really, really important. So the key, the major first step that you want to do as you enter into the process of clearing up your credit is update your personal info. And so for anybody who want that template, please reach out to either myself or my beautiful wife.
Hey, Lisa, we back.
Hey, what's up, sis?
We're back Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 10 a.m. Yeah, you're probably saying, well, today's Tuesday. Well, that's because we didn't do it yesterday. I had to take my dad to a doctor's appointment in the morning and all that jazz, right? So,
I'm not the credit couple by myself, so I had to.
Yeah, so he didn't want to be on here by himself looking shy and all that. So we just
one thing I'm not shy.
So listen, we got a treat for you guys. We got a treat because we're giving
this Halloween.
I don't even have a comeback right now. Okay, so
he
caught me off guard.
Trick or treat.
He caught me off. No tricks, all treats. Okay, so listen. we're telling you we're giving you some instructions. You want to update your personal information. You want to opt out of the secondary bureau. A natural question for someone who's never done this before is, well, how? What do I do? We actually have a free template of how you can actually update your personal information, and we're going to give you the instructions on how you can opt out of the secondary bureaus. So for those of you who are connected to me, you can click the link in my bio. It is actually on my little, you go to my link tree, click the credit services, and you'll see the free download where you can download it. My husband, he getting his links all updated, but you're going to be able to go to the link in his bio and download it for free. Now, keep in mind, you can update your personal information via the mail, or you can actually call the bureaus on the phone. Sometimes they'll give you a hard time, but you can be persistent and tell them this information is not correct. This is my legal name. This is my only address. You can do it on the phone, or you can do it via the mail. We give you the templates and instructions to handle it via the mail and how to opt out of those secondary bureaus. The other thing, as you were saying, what about the people who need help with their credit and they don't want to do it by themselves?
Right. And so here's what I would recommend. We're obviously 2022 is coming to an end. 2023 is about to begin. Oh, that was a round. Oh, anyway.
You and a poet, didn't even know it.
Didn't even know it. So I'm going to let the world know it. Anyway. So here's the thing. Here's the thought process. We know a lot of people are getting ready to come up with their New Year's resolutions or their new beliefs for about 2 weeks in 2023. All I'm going to say is start the process, right? It's not going to fix itself. And maybe you know this or you don't. But we are in a recession. And it's going to actually get worse before it gets better. But I'm going to tell you, the people who have positioned themselves to have excellent credit will be able to take advantage of a lot of things that's about to happen because of people not having good credit or because people messed up or whatever, right? So what I'm saying is, listen, I know Christmas is coming up, right? Give your gift of good credit. Give yourself the gift of good credit. That means get started today. You don't have to wait till after the holidays. You don't know none of that. See, this is my belief, and please charge it to my head and not to my heart.
I'm charging it to both.
Right, but if you feel like you have to go buy a Christmas gift and your credit score starts with a 3, 4, 5, or 6, there lies the problem. Seriously.
It's really a mindset.
Right? Because if you want to go do that, that's fine, but take care of priorities first, right? Because if you have excellent credit, you could actually take advantage of a credit card and get all kinds of reward points and all kinds of cash back because you spend that money because you got good credit, right? So that's a whole nother topic, and I know, but listen, I'm not talking about anybody who's going out there and buying all a bunch of gifts and stuff. All I'm simply saying is if your priorities are not in order, then you need to go out there and get your credit repaired ASAP.
Because I don't want to see y'all on here talking about new year, new me. New year, new you, but you got the same low credit scores, ain't doing nothing about it, okay? You can't be a new you with the same old story.
On Facebook talk about new you, new me, and your credit score saying, I'm not. All jokes aside, all I'm saying is let's get this credit started. Let's get it corrected so that way you can actually have some big changes in your life and stop paying way more money than you have to. Stop getting denied. You in a place talking about, I know God told me that come down here and get this car. And your credit score is a 399 like mine was when I got started, right?
Well, here's the other one. You are saying, congratulations for this blessing because you just purchased a vehicle and you're posting online your new car, but you got a 27% interest rate.
That ain't no
or
damn blessing, just so you know.
28% interest rate, and you had to put down $2,000, $5,000, and you got a monthly payment that's $400, $500, $600 on a car that you really cannot financially afford. That is not a blessing. That is a curse, okay? That is not even smart, okay? And in the long run, very hard to sustain. You're setting yourself up for failure when you could actually be setting yourself up for success. All right, fix your credit. No time better than the present. Let's not put off what we could do today till tomorrow. Take the step. You can hit us up. We have a solution to help you. Like you said, you can get the update information template and the instructions to opt out of the secondary bureaus for free by just clicking the links in our bios. However, if you want to actually get some professional help and you want to have some consumer protection attorneys batting on your behalf because they know consumer protection laws in and out to get better results with your credit repair process, definitely reach out to us.
Absolutely. And so just recapping, the number one thing that you want to do before you start the process is update your information. The second thing that you want to do is opt out of the secondary credit bureaus. And the way you're going to get all that information is reach out to us so that we can actually give you the template so you can actually follow it step by step and get it done. And for all the people that know they need that credit repair, reach out to us, my wife or myself, and we can get you started today, not tomorrow, not next year, today, right?
And Lilia, your question, Lilia asked, is there a solution to credit staying stagnant at 730? Do you have to get extra lines of debt for it to move up? So do you want to answer that?
So I answer, and I know you'll come behind that. So now, if you're stagnant, all that simply means is, first of all, for credit scores to increase, the number one thing people miss is time. Right? It depends on how long you've had those positive trade lines on there. The second thing is going to matter is the amount, right? How much are you managing, right? Because they like to see that you have multiple credit cards. They like to see you having debt but managing it, right? A lot of people, you can have a 730, believe it or not, with one credit card.
Shout out to Lilia for having a 730. Woo woo!
Absolutely, congratulations. But you know, then people gonna be inbox. Can you co-sign? No, they don't ever co-sign for nobody. But anyway, so there's a couple of factors, and so this is what I would tell you to do. Reach out to my wife so she can give you a free consultation to kind of help you out, because there's a couple of factors. One, you need to have 9 to 11 open accounts. 9 to 11, right? You got to have 9, and it has to be a mixture, right? Of course, you have to have your installment, which is like your rent, your mortgage, your car note. Then you want to have revolving, which is different credit cards, right? You want to have different credit cards. And then you remember, you have to have time. You got to have time and then manage it. Make sure that you start at first at 30%, then take it from 30% down to 10%, and then from 10% down to about 1 to 3% on your credit cards at all times, right? But when you have
No. Not at all times. Just before your balance
well,
is reported
I'm
to
sorry.
the
Okay.
credit bureau.
I forgot.
Very
yes,
important.
Right. You got to know that statement date, right? Because it's different between the due date, right? So that's a whole nother live, and we're going way too long today, but we giving value, so that's fine. But hopefully that helps. But reach out to my wife and let her know that you just want to, get that score up, and we can help you. We just need to look at how many open accounts you have and what's your balances and stuff like that, but we can help.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. It's time is probably the most important thing, and the amount of debt that you're carrying, and how you're using the credit that you do have. But you're doing great. You're doing great, and I'm glad that some of our tips have been able to help you. So you guys, you got your marching orders today on this terrific Tuesday. Go ahead, get your free personal information update, your instructions to opt out of the secondary credit bureaus, and if you need some help, stop being stuck, stop being stagnant, stop being denied. It is time to change the story to a story of congratulations, a story of approvals, a story of debt elimination, a story of financial security. So hit us up. Hope you got some value. You guys take care. He late with the jingle, y'all. What is
Better go to credit couple.
All
Credit couple. Ain't nobody do it.
Have an incredible day, y'all. Take care.